Hello everyone, it's Charlie. Welcome to my latest video here from glorious sunny afternoon in Newhaven. Before we start, I'm in Newhaven Harbour Station. There's two stations in Newhaven, one here, one in the town. For a population of 13,000 people, I think that is fantastic. We love railways, we love public transport. Bring on Newhaven. Let's explore. Thank you, Charlie. Newhaven is located on the southeast coast of England, with good transport links in all directions, by road, rail, bus, and even by boat. If you're driving, it's 58 miles from London, 8 miles from Lewes, and 18 miles from both Brighton and Eastbourne. And yes, I did just read the sign. Newhaven Port, or the Port of Newhaven as they'd like me to call it, contains some light industry and is exclusively served by the harbour station. So we're at Newhaven town much quicker than I had expected, because I realised that the gate I wanted to use at Newhaven Harbour was actually locked by the Port Authority. So take two, let's try and leave the station this time. Newhaven town. I managed to get out of the station this time. It's located right next to the ferry terminal entrance, which the town is often known for. DFDS Seaways connect Newhaven with Dieppe in northern France, 80 nautical miles away. The journey takes around 4 hours, and there are 3 sailings a day between May and September. I walked past the Drove retail park and popped into a well-known American fast food outlet. I then crossed the roundabout and walked towards Sainsbury's to get to Drove Park. There are 3 ponds in here, and it provides peaceful surroundings if you'd like to escape the hustle and bustle of the supermarket next door. There are big bins in here too, although they don't get the bonus points for having recycling bins, I'm afraid. The path follows the main road. So I've made it to Paradise Park, which has all these things as you can see behind me. Yes, that includes gardens, lakes, waterfalls, fountains, a Planet Earth museum, Sussex Heritage Trail, and the Newhaven Maritime Museum. I found myself on an industrial estate. I bet you're wondering why that is. Fear not, I've got you covered. So I'm really excited about this bit. What's behind me is the Newhaven Incinerator. This is Veolia's Energy Recovery Facility, ERF. Hang on, there's a train. As I was saying, Energy Recovery Facility, ERF. It takes in about half of the South Downs waste, 210,000 tonnes of rubbish a year. It generates 19 megawatts of electricity. That's enough to power 25,000 homes. So this is a vital part of the South Downs. Some may think of it as an eyesore. I think it's iconic. The Newhaven Energy... My mind genuinely went blank at this point. Recovery facility. I walked back down New Road towards the station where I started my journey. I found a boat with a tree. I thought that was quite amusing. I crossed the Newhaven swing bridge that unfortunately wasn't swinging when I got there, although it meant I could cross quicker. I walked along the ring road and then crossed the bridge over to Denton Island. So I'm here on Denton Island, which is a man-made island, and it's got beautiful scenery. You can see the one-way system. You can see a nice moat going around the side. Behind me there is a bandstand with what I believe is a peacock on the top. I thought that was quite interesting. But more interesting is that there's a bench here dedicated to a certain Easy E. And I'll be honest, I have no idea who that is. But after a quick Google, they were a rapper who lived in Newhaven and were alive from 1964 to 1995. And it's a really peaceful place when the cars aren't going past to just sit and relax. There's a few benches along here. There's bins, we love bins. And yeah, generally a nice place to just enjoy the scenery. Denton Island is also a fantastic place to come if you're refurbishing your house or want a new bed. We've got Sussex beds And we've also got the one and only Rug, what even is it? Rug World. I was going to say Rug Planet, but it's Rug World. Don't diss me, Rug World, I'm promoting you here. So if you want to refurbish your bedroom by the looks of it, come to Denton Island. I left the island, crossed the road and headed towards the High Street. So I'm walking up Newhaven High Street. I've come later in the day, so most of the shops are now shut. But what I can tell you is that the UK government has allocated £12.5 million to regenerate Newhaven town centre and provide some funding to revamp the boats, where the boats moor. So that's good news. I especially liked La Baguette shop, making French visitors feel right at home. I headed up Lewes Road towards Ship Street, where I discovered a cat wall. I would highly recommend visiting the cat wall if you come to Newhaven. It's also a great place to visit if you're waiting for a ferry and are thinking of things to do to fill the time. The painting was excellent, and I lost count of how many cats there were on the side wall. And yes, it was a great place to grab a photo. I began my ascent uphill using Evelyn Avenue and Murray Avenue. The average house price in Newhaven is £315,000, significantly cheaper than many towns and villages along the south coast of England. A short walk up Newfield Road takes you to St Michael's Church, which was mostly built in 1854. There are great views over the South Downs from here too. You can see the River Ouse and the villages heading towards the town of Lewes. So I'm walking up Church Hill, which, well, passes the side of the church, and I just wanted to talk a bit about Newhaven in the upcoming general election. So Newhaven is within the Lewes parliamentary constituency, which was held by the Conservative Maria Caulfield, who's standing for re-election. Lewes has always been a marginal seat. Since 2015, it's been exceptionally marginal. Maria won it in 2019 with a majority of just under 2,500 over the Liberal Democrats. So this is a Conservative Liberal Democrat marginal. Labour probably would have a higher vote share here if it were not for the first past the post voting system, where you have to effectively pick who do you want, the Conservative or the Liberal Democrat. So those are the real two options. Maria Caulfield is a minister in the health department, specialising in mental health and women's health. She was a nurse before she was elected to Parliament, so she thinks that is in her favour. The Liberal Democrat candidate is a guy called James McCleary, who led Lewes District Council, which in fact now has no Conservative councillors as of last year. They got completely wiped out, which left people like me watching on and thinking the Conservatives ran the local authority in the previous years, and then to go from running it a few years ago to being wiped out to zero is quite extraordinary. So Maria Caulfield's probably looking at that and thinking, goodness gracious me. But we'll see what happens. It's fair to say that Maria Caulfield is a very hard-working MP. She's not someone who takes this seat for granted, so that will help her in her re-election campaign. But the Time for Change message, which the Liberal Democrats are running, and also a message on the sewage that is being dumped in the nearby rivers and seas, also has cut through in this area. So my prediction is that the Liberal Democrats will take Lewes with a majority of about 5,000. And it's worth noting that during this election campaign, people are like, oh, you know, it's great, get the Tories out and all the rest of it. You've got to remember that some MPs are very hard working. They put a lot of effort into their seats. And even if you don't agree with them, it's personally devastating when they lose. So bear that in mind on election night too. I was impressed by the view from 2nd Avenue and Hillcrest Road, but more on that later. I walked downhill towards the harbour. I crossed the mini roundabout and found the West Quay. There was a parade of businesses, including an Italian restaurant, a convenience store, cafe, and Maria Caulfield's office. The riverside was a nice place to sit and watch the world go by. Future Charlie then had the urge to tell me something. Something I should add to the video, this is recorded after the main video. There's a lovely path that goes along the West Quay from the station. So if I'd have known, I would have done this route in reverse, but thought I'd put that in there, but on with the video. Thank you, Charlie. I headed south down Fort Road and came across the last public toilets before France. Now, how's that for you? They were free to use as well. So I'm walking down Fort Road and fun fact for you, the car parking in West Quay was something like £1.50 an hour. Across the road next to those public toilets I've just shown you, Monday to Friday, 9 till 5, you can park for 4 hours for free, and the parking restriction doesn't apply on the weekends. Don't tell anyone, but I've got you covered. We save money on this channel too. This road provided an even better view of the River Ouse and the South Downs. I passed the Hope Inn pub, the last pub on Fort Road before you reach the West Beach Promenade. I'll go a bit faster here and get you to the sea. Some people were fishing, but I preferred to just stand back and take in the view. I would recommend coming here on an evening actually, when there are less people, so you can enjoy it all to yourself. I uncovered a chessboard along the promenade. You just needed some massive pieces to play. Newhaven Beach is a pebbled beach and is a lot quieter than the nearby Brighton and Eastbourne beaches. Seaford's also close by if you'd like a pebble beach. I wanted to see Newhaven Fort before I concluded this video, so I walked back up Fort Road and found the main entrance to the fort. Yes, this meant walking uphill again, so sorry if I sound a bit puffed out when I'm speaking. It was built in the 19th century and is the largest work of defence that's ever been built in Sussex. It's currently undergoing a refurbishment costing £7.5 million, so isn't reopening to the public until spring 2025. I will come back and film the fort when I can. In the meantime, there are great views from the car park for the fort across Newhaven. And look, what can we see in the distance? It's our good friend, the Energy Recovery Facility. Those 3 words are now permanently etched into my brain after forgetting on camera. You can see across everywhere we've just walked, and then I decided to carry on going uphill to see the cliff. A public footpath takes you to the top of the hills. It feels like you're in the middle of the countryside. There are better views along the coast, and you can clearly see the neighbouring town of Seaford. I will cover Seaford in another video. Newhaven Fort borders Castle Hill Nature Reserve, where I walked. The path takes you along the top and past a sign describing what the area was for. This is next to the Coast Guard's view, where I decided to conclude the video. I think this is a great spot to finish. Thank you for watching my video on Newhaven. I hope you like the town. I hope you like what we visited. Please share this with everyone you know who may be interested in what Newhaven's like, exploring different cities, towns and villages in the UK. That's what this channel is for. And if you know anyone who lives in Newhaven, please send this video to them, because I want feedback from locals. What have I missed? What hidden gems are there that tourists would want to know about? That is the kind of information that I am missing on this channel at the moment and would love to have access to. Thank you again for watching. Please subscribe, like the video, leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next one.